We know that the city of Houston and our region are going to gain millions of people over the next 10 years or so. I mean, numbers tell us that we're going to essentially get the city of San Antonio and layer it on top of Houston. We already are having trouble with our mobility. I think downtown is critical because if people can't get downtown, I think it's going to signal something negative for the whole rest of the region. You know, people aren't going to say, oh, I can't get to some suburb. They're going to say, I have trouble getting downtown. And so people talk about the downtown as if it's the heart of the community, and it is. I mean, we see it getting attention from TxDOT already. And so the conversations, as TxDOT is talking about rebuilding I-45, so the conversations are going on, mobility is going on, and so we have to have enough dialogue around it to make sure that our decisions are the correct ones. There are a number of correct decisions, but I think at the core of it is that we've got to be multimodal. We've got to recognize that we cannot rely totally on the car. As society, as we act like our trips are all or nothing. So either I drive my car or I take transit. I think that's not the correct approach. The correct approach is, for which trips should I take transit? For which trips should I drive my car? And be far more deliberate in our trip making. And then I think that would help us a lot, both with congestion as well as with just our need to meet so many of our mobility needs. The key to making an area more walkable is people. And so I think the way that that is done is that we have to get more people downtown. It's happening, and so we need to make sure that that's fueled. One of the things that we see in literature is that even buildings that have glass and street face, so even if I'm not outside, I can see outside. And so as I'm walking down the street, I'm looking in a building and I see people and people see me. So that gives me a heightened sense of security. The other thing is the lighting has to be awesome. You know, I can't feel like it's dark or shadowy. And so, you know, there's some other, you know, sort of typical things that you want to separate your pedestrians from your autos. Well, all those things are kind of normal, but I think the key thing is people, people, people. Generally, things like that can be done, I think, visually. You know, street markers, street pavement, the green link, you know, something that just makes it clear that these are tied together. It's not all the way on the other side of downtown. You do things to massage the separation, if you will. So if you're in Market Square and you're wanting to go to Discovery Green, what is it that says to you right now that these areas are linked? I'm not sure that there is anything. You know, so I think that there's something you have to do that sort of lets you know you're there. You know, the way that the bus shelters look, whether it's the way that the pavement is designed, whether it's a street flag. I mean, just something that just ties the whole area together. In a recent meeting for Plan Downtown, we all learned that the people who live closest to downtown are still driving their cars. And the people who are taking transit downtown are the people who live farthest away. Why is that? I wouldn't want to sit here and try to come up with a quick answer, but I think it gives us something to investigate. So we need to look at, you know, which routes are they? What's the time between those vehicles? For some reason, it's more difficult to take transit if I'm close than if it is if I'm far away. Why? You know, that's, you know, it just gives you a big question mark. It's going to come down to, I propose, that I'm always going to do what's easiest for me. For some reason, it's easiest right now for me to drive my car. It's not easiest for me to take transit, and the whys of that need to be answered and need to be addressed.